Heyo, so let's talk about abstracting some photos even further using this idea of linear symmetry. So, linear symmetry means there's a line that goes down the center. I'll draw a red line on here just to show you. Oh, it's going to be hot pink. All right, so if I was to draw a straight line down the middle of this document, whatever's on the left side mirrors what's on the right side. If I was to draw a line across the middle, what's on top mirrors what's on bottom. So this is horizontally linear symmetry, and this is vertical linear symmetry. Okay, so that's what we're going to do with this project. Um, I love doing this with things that have like trees or branches or lots of lines because they make really cool compositions. So I'm going to start with this abstract picture that I just finished doing. If you notice in my layers panel, I've got lots of masks going on here. I've got lots of adjustment layers going back to the how you abstracted this in the first place. So I need to be able to copy this information, all of these pixels, all of these layers into a new letter size document. Okay, we think about our final output. Our final output is letter size because that's the size of our printer. So first off, I'm going to go to File. I'm going to go to New, and I am going to go to Print because I know that we are making artwork for printing, and I'm going to go to letter size. Here's where I get to determine whether I want it portrait or whether I want it landscape. I am going to go with portrait for right now. It might end up having a little bit of white space on the bottom, but that's fine. I can trim it later. So I'll click create. And here is my new document. I want to get in the habit of going straight to save as, and I'm going to title this linear symmetry abstract 1. I'm going to have you make like 3 or 4 of these because they're pretty cool and I want you to get the process down. So linear symmetry abstract 1, click save. Now I already have it saved in my cloud, so I'm ready to go. All right. I need to get these pixels in here. Take note, if I just come over here and I go edit copy, all it's going to do is it's going to copy this very top layer here. I want to copy all of the layers. So what I need to do first, because I'm trying to aim for this copy merged, which is going to squish everything together, I have to come over here and I have to tell it, hey, select everything, select all, which is going to put dancing ants around the edge of my canvas. I'm going to hide this real quick. Oh, come back. There we go. Around the edge of my canvas. And then from there, now you can see I can go copy merged. Okay. Copy merged is important. It's going to copy every layer. Copy merged. I'm going to come over here, edit, paste. And it's going to paste all the layers squished into one layer. Okay. From here, I'm just going to go to edit free transform. And I'm going to make this slightly smaller. I will change the size of it later, but I want to be able to play with this a little bit. So I want it a little bit smaller than my paper. Remember, I'm doing a horizontal flip and then I'll do a vertical flip and then I'll make it fit the paper. All right. So from here, I need to make a copy of this so that I can get another copy over here. It's actually a duplicate of this layer. So I'm going to go to my layer down here, and rather than clicking on the picture, I'm going to click on the words and I'm going to go duplicate layer. Okay. That's the long way around of doing it. So duplicate layer. A shorter way of doing that, if I wanted to do that, is I can hold Alt or Option down on my keyboard. Notice when I pull up, so if I click and pull up, that blue line is going to be there. It's going to make me a duplicate as well. So right click, duplicate layer, or Alt or Option, drag it up. Okay, so I have one layer on top of the other. Notice I can drag it wherever I want, but I want this to stay in line with this, okay? As I'm dragging this, if I hold shift on the keyboard down, it's gonna lock this into place and it's not gonna go out of alignment. It's okay if you have a little bit of a gap in here because we are gonna zoom in a minute and make this fit using our arrow keys. Notice when I'm on the move tool, the top tool in the toolbox, I can use the arrow keys to nudge this into place. We wanna make sure that it gets nudged all the way. But this isn't flipped yet. I need to flip this layer by going to Edit, Transform. Okay, so right underneath Free Transform is Transform. This gives us a lot more different transformation options. And I'm going to go all the way down to Flip Horizontal. Think of it as the horizon line, like where the sky meets the land. The horizon line is flipping left to right. So then that's going to flip. So now I get to decide, do I want this to be the center of my painting? Do I want this to be where things meet? Or do I want to move this around? Oh, I should have hold shift there. Let me hold shift. Okay. Click, oops. Click, drag, hold shift, move one to one side. Click, drag, hold shift, move one to the other side. Okay. And then I can see, ooh, I kind of like what's being built here with this shape here. So I think I'm going to use this as the orientation or the way that I make my picture work. Ooh, this is going to be cool. All right. If I want to move these together, maybe they're off to the side of the page and I just want it in the center. If you notice, if I click on one layer, hold shift, click on the other layer, then I can move this around. They're both going to move at the same time. This is also where if I went to edit free transform and I made this bigger, they're both going to get large at the same time. Okay. I always want to zoom in and make sure there's not like a white line in between where I connected these two things. So now I need to just flip this one more time. So I have layer one, layer two. I'm going to select both of them. Okay. So I can do it this way. I can select both of them. I can go and I can duplicate the layers, which is going to give me two more. Okay. This way is a little tricky. So I have two more. They're still selected. I'm going to drag them down together and then they're here. And then I want to flip them together, but this time I'm going to flip vertical, edit, transform, flip vertical. Ooh. And then I'm going to zoom in and make sure using my arrow keys. Sometimes I'm going to pop back down. There's where that line is. Use the arrow keys, nudge that right back up. Make sure that there's not a white line there. And then I can zoom back out. I needed to nudge it one more time. There we go. So then I still have 4 layers here if I wanted to do something with them. That is one option. Here's another option that it's slightly destructive in a way because, so if I go back, I have this top layer. I can merge these 2 layers together. So I'm doing this just to show you how to do merge down. So if I right click on here, I can go down in this menu and I can go to merge down. So if I merge down, now they're both in the same layer. I can duplicate and then I can copy. Flip. Edit, transform, flip vertical this time because I'm flipping up and down. Drag, hold shift, and then line it up. So merge works really well if you make sure that you have your white lines taken care of. Okay, zoom in, make sure that it is nudged up there the way you want it. Not too far, not far. All right. And then if I wanted to, I could merge that down. If I was sure that it was perfect, you don't have to, but I can merge those down together. Now it's in one layer. This is where if you wanted to make a pattern out of these, say that's not enough. Say you wanted to go further with this and be like, hey, I think this would be cool if, so I have this now. Duplicate that layer. So duplicate layer. Notice I'm clicking on the words, not the thumbnail. Pull this to the side. When you're making a pattern like this, you don't necessarily need to flip it anymore because it's already flipped and it's going to just continue the transition. Merge those together. Merge down. Now that it's merged down, I don't have to worry about selecting both layers. I can go and kind of fit this in here. And if I don't need to flip this anymore. If I wanted to fill my paper, I can just duplicate the layer. Click OK. Click drag like I'm moving it, but hold shift after I start moving it. And let's tuck that together. Okay. Again, every time, zoom in, make sure you don't have a random white line there. And then this is kind of one way how they make like wrapping paper or how they make fabric that just kind of repeats when it's printed. I could go ahead and merge these down together. Merge down. The biggest thing, if you're merging down together, you need to make sure that you don't have those white lines. And now if I wanted to fit this on the page, so I have good margins, when I print this, I can go ahead and I can trim off the bottom, or I just fit it on here with a little bit of a margin, a little bigger margin on the bottom. So that's linear symmetry. Have fun. You don't have to go this far with it. You do need to go at least this far. Oops, not that one. This far to where you've flipped horizontally and you flipped vertically, and then make it fit the page. Because it's abstract, you know what I could do? I could even see how when I try to stretch this out, it changes the proportion and goes off the page. If I just wanted to make it bendy, if I hold shift, these look more like alien eggs now. So I can actually stretch it out because I'm working with abstract. I'm doing what I want. And then I can change up what I have going on. If I feel like this is a little too dark, I can go in and change my adjustments. It's going to do it to everything because everything's merged down. But I could lighten this up if I think it's going to print kind of weird. So I can just move my, start changing things up again. I can use mask. I can do all those things that we did to begin with. And this is where you want to be really careful. I don't know if I merged down enough on that one. There's a little white line that's popping up. So be careful. Maybe do one click too far when you are putting those together. That looks pretty cool. Again, file, save as. I've already saved this to the cloud with the right name. I'm going to click save on the cloud. To turn this in, file, export, quick export as PNG. It's already going to be called the right thing. This is linear symmetry abstract 1. I'm going to call this 2024 because I make lots of these. Put it in your documents, click save. That is the file that you will turn into me. Again, practice with this, do 3 or 4 of them, and we will see what we get. All right. There are instructions that follow this. They tell you how to duplicate, how to flip, how to merge down, duplicate, flip vertical, move into place. It's a pretty simple thing, but we'll see how it goes. All right, over and out.